Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategic or compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. Today's video I'm going to be doing a follow-up from the previous video where I looked at the results from the metamaterials investigation into naked short selling, and we're going to be looking at details from Wes Christian and more clarity that he's expected to provide in terms of going forward, a potential lawsuit and how this may affect MMTLP and how this may also affect metamaterials shareholders. We're also going to be looking at earnings for Nvidia, so stay tuned for that. So before we get started, let's have a look at details of what's happening in the market. So at the start, market opening, we can see here from investing.com that the US stock market futures were rallying, the VIX was dropping on, and this was as a result of the blowout Nvidia earnings, which we will be looking at. So at the start, we can see that the US Tech 100 was up close to 1.1%. The small cap 2000 was also up 0.18%. I think it has come down overall a little bit more as the market progressed, but we can also see here from Market Watch that the treasury yields are leaping on signs that the US economy is gaining momentum this month. However, the fears of inflation are still there in the background, and that is why we're not seeing significant amounts of consistency in the markets. And other news I'd like to share with you here from Stock Market News is with regard to ticker symbol SNOW. This is one of the stocks that we have been watching carefully, also known as Snowflake, and the CEO is talking about collaboration with Nvidia, with more to come. So the quotation here from CNBC states that they have collaborated with Nvidia on a number of fronts, and the foundation model Arctic was unsurprisingly done on top of Nvidia chips. So great potential here going forward for SNOW. Let's start by having a look at a quick reminder of the previous video where we looked at the huge breaking news from metamaterials, and this was a statement with regard to an update on the naked short selling investigation, and highlighted in yellow and also in red is the reference to evidence for naked short selling in MMAT and MMTLP claims. So that was quite significant, and quick reminder in terms of George's reaction. The key thing that George was stating here was asking the question, what would happen to the money assuming the claim by the company was successful, and the opinion here is that the money should be shared back with the shareholders, and I do agree with that. So let's now have a look at details of further details to be provided with regard to this press release. So Wes Christian is going to be available on the space, and this is going to be hosted on Wednesday, May the 29th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm assuming this will be this will also give an opportunity to many of the shareholders out there to provide questions, obviously look at how the investigation has gone so far, what the plans are going forward, and what we as shareholders of not only metamaterials but also MMTLP expect going forward, potentially also in terms of compensation for us. And in the previous video, one of the other things that we shared was details of how you can add your letter to the campaign, and this was the 4th Congress campaign. So what Blue X Flame has stated in the comments is, where can I add the post to send her letter also? So shout out here to Meta News, who are adding on an update for this. So we currently have just in excess of 53,000 total letters sent. So you can have a look, access the link here, and the link is at fairmarketsnow.org /MMTLP. So if you go onto that, I think it takes approximately 150 seconds, costs you absolutely nothing. You can also do it in a number of different times, and each letter hopefully will give us a path towards resolution. So in terms of some of the key concerns that we have, again, a good reminder here from Kestrel, who's tagging in FINRA and asking the question, does FINRA actually follow their own rules? So this is something that we have featured in previous videos on many occasions, but in terms of a reminder here, the question here, the answer to the question, do they follow their own rules? And with regard to rule 6490, the allegation here is that FINRA broke this rule by revising an S1 without the issuer permission from the issuer, creating a settlement issue with MMTLP, and I would also add on creating huge amounts of uncertainty when they claimed they were trying to avoid uncertainty, leading to the very, very rare U3 halt. I finally like to finish off by having a review of the earnings for Nvidia, and this was a stock that we called in our weekly watch list, where we stated that potentially a significant beat on earnings and another run up. So we have had an outstanding beat on earnings, but before we look at the earnings, in other news here from the AI investor, we can see here that Jensen has talked about Tesla, self-driving cars, video training and a multimodal AI that will also drive the future of Nvidia's demand. So great interview there, and potential strong collaboration with Tesla and Nvidia. So let's move on to have a look at the quarterly revenue trend. First of all, revenue by markets for Nvidia. So from Stock Market News, we can see here that they reported data center revenue of $22.6 billion, beating the expectations of approximately $21.1 billion. So we can see the data center revenue there, $22.563 billion in the first quarter of they're reported, with a total revenue amounting to just in excess of $26 billion. So they have just in excess of $2.6 billion for gaming, and there's a significant beat there year on year, just in excess of just very close to $4 billion. So great result there from a revenue point of view. And now we have a look at the breakdown in terms of an overall snapshot, and the results are the revenue was estimate was beaten by 5.5%. The data center revenue was beaten by 6.6%. EBIT, the estimate was beaten by 10.8%. And the GAAP earnings per share was beaten by 80 cents. So overall, great news there for Nvidia. And now if we have a look at in terms of other important news, there was an announcement also of a 10-for-1 stock split. So from Stock Market News, we can see in terms of the dates, every shareholder of Nvidia, in terms of whoever owns the shares on close of market on Thursday, June the 6th, 2024, will also receive an additional 9 shares. So the shares will be distributed after the close on June the 7th, and the split will, in terms of adjusting, will begin on Monday, June the 10th. However, in terms of the overall change in the market cap, it does not change the overall market cap for Nvidia. The total market cap value will remain the same. However, in terms of the markets generally react very, very positively for this, and it makes the shares of Nvidia much, much more affordable. So let's have a look at a quick summary. We can see here, first of all, from StockTwits, the 10-for-1 stock split is effective on the 6th of the 6th. 150% dividend increase, so there was news of a significant increase in the dividend. Double earnings beat, 262% revenue growth year on year, and 560% earnings per share year on year. So outstanding results there for Nvidia. So let's finish off by having a look at the chart. So if we have a look at the chart on earnings day here, we can see as soon as the earnings were due, the stock went from around about just in excess of $940 to in excess of $1,000. So at time of editing, currently trading at $1,053.81. So with the stock split, I expect each share to be in excess of $100 each. So right now at time of editing, it's up in excess of 10.99%, and I think the market cap for Nvidia now is staggeringly huge, and way in excess of Tesla. I believe it's also bigger than the German stock market combined. So great news here for Nvidia, and I think in terms of the interviews with the CEO, he's also stating that they are finding it difficult to obviously meet the demand right now for Nvidia. So everybody holding Nvidia, congratulations, and one of the great long-term holds also covered in our Discord, especially as one of the stocks featured in our $1 million challenge. And finally, if you would like to get a copy of the next weekly watch list as well as our daily stock alerts, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.